Part of the problem with the spirits from, of course, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the demons of demonology, is that they might possibly be a little untrustworthy. Think about this one. VUAL. A great duke comes at first as an enormous dromedary, but afterwards assumes human form and speaks in the Egyptian tongue. He procures a love of women, discerns past, present and future, and excites friendship even between foes. He was of the order of the powers. So basically, this geezer comes up to you speaking in Egyptian, probably ancient Egyptian at that. I mean, you aren't really going to be able to hold a really good conversation with a person like that anyway. But if they used to be something like maybe a doctor or a particle physicist, then maybe they might actually know something, you know what I mean? Even if they were like a dietitian, then essentially, you could talk to them about your diet and all the rest of it. That would be very, useful and interesting stuff. But no, this person used to be a camel with one hump. And for some reason, he manages to maintain his job as a great duke. I mean, all of his subjects on the land, it must be really rather brassed off with him. Our boss, he's part camel, I mean, for crying out loud's sake. So, I mean, what would he look like once he's turned into a human being or has human form? That doesn't really explain here what human form actually means now, does it, you see? I mean, does it still mean he's got some kind of camel-like features? Like that geezer who used to be in a cigarette advert from a certain number of years ago, if you get my drift? Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe it actually looks like that. But on the other hand, would you really trust that particular type? I mean, no. I mean, that's the sort of thing you'd see if you overdone the, magic mushroom or something, A few too many little bits of morning glory seeds, maybe. Or maybe just a really, really bad cheese dream. I mean, that's terrible. And he's supposed to be exciting friendship even between foes, but speaking Egyptian and looking like the geezer from the cigarette adverts. I mean, no. I mean, yep, it's got its the little signature of the spirit there. There you go, up there. That's what you're supposed to, that's the way you're supposed to summon him. If you draw that thing, then all of a sudden, this thing that's part camel will be able to help you to develop a relationship with a woman. Yeah, he procures the love of women. Yeah, right. I mean, camels aren't well known for their, if you get my drift, if you get the point, it's sort of like personal hygiene. They're not really well known for it, if you get my drift. And so you got this smelly thing that might look vaguely human, but basically came from a camel, and doesn't even speak the language. Do you really think he's going to be all that good at building a, and if he hasn't been all that human for too long, would he actually know what it means to be a human being? And all the little complexities and intricacies of being a human and dealing with human issues? Not really. I mean, technically speaking, would you really regard this geezer as being a good source of information, or indeed someone who's well designed to help you out with your relationship problems? I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there in the world who say, oh, no, we follow VUAL. He used to be a camel, yes. He's bound to help me with my relationship problems. I mean, for crying out loud's sake, get some perspective here. I mean, did he used to understand relationships or do relationship counselling? No, he used to be a camel, for Christ's sakes. I mean, for crying out, oh no. And yes, there are some people there who think, oh yes, he's a Grand Duke, yeah, go. We can only keep our presidents and prime ministers in power for a certain number of years. I mean, for him to hold the position of a Grand Duke since the dawn of time or whenever it was, I mean, the likelihood of that is pretty zero. And if he's got loads of subjects underneath him and they tolerate him looking partially dromedary-like, a bit sort of camel-y, then are they really necessarily the best people to listen to? Are they themselves actually good sources of information? Oh.